Hello and welcome back to Snapshot, your place for all news, history, and just chat about Quadball. We are back with the weekly updates. We are excited. I'm certainly excited for more Quadball action. We're going to break it all down in this video today. First things first, just because I think this is objectively cool, Breakmark is going to make champion jerseys for whoever wins the college and club team, I believe. Yes, each USQ Cup division, maybe that includes D2 and club non-competitive as well, I'm not sure, but definitely the #1 college team and #1 club team will be getting champion jerseys. I think that's really cool. Early predictions, I guess mid-season, I think Reign are definitely in a really good spot. Boom Train as well. For the college scene, I think UVA right now are running away with it. It's going to take a lot for somebody to challenge them, but it'd be really cool to see some champion jerseys. More alternates just in general, but think about Reign or UVA taking the field like next season and having a champion jersey to sport for the next year. I think that'd be really cool. Let's look at Space City Invitational this Saturday, 4 days from now. I am commentating this tournament. I'm super excited to be doing that. 8 games of Quadball action. 3 teams will be here. The Texas Copperheads, who are hosting, Texas Hill Country Heat, and Boom Train, my #1 team in the country, will be here. This is going to be a triple round robin. Every team will play every other team 3 times, with the exception that Copperheads only play Heat twice. Probably because they've played Heat in a 3-game series before. Either way, Boom Train is getting 3 games against Heat and 3 games against Copperheads, and Copperheads and Heat will play 2 games. There will be 4 games in the morning, and then you can see there's a 12:30 slot and a 2:30 slot. At the 1:30, there's going to be like a college event where the U.S. national team and the U.S. national team, the DA coaches or staff or whoever are going to be there and monitor a little scrimmage game. So that'd be cool for recruitment for the national team. So that should be a lot of fun as well. I'm excited to commentate. I'm excited to watch these games. This will be in Houston this Saturday, January the 17th. Don't want to miss that. My predictions, this is partly wishful thinking, but I think Copperheads will take a game off of Heat. I think they can. They only play them 2 times, but I think Copperheads are going to take a game. I do think that's the only game they'll take. I know they beat Boom Train last season, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen again. I think they're more likely to pull the upset over Heat than they are Boom Train. So I'm going to say Copperheads go 1-4. I think Boom Train will drop a game because going 6-0 with 3 sets of back-to-backs would be really hard. It would be impressive if they did, but I think they will drop a game. I think they'll drop a game to Heat at some point. So I've got Boom Train going 5-1. That would make Heat going 2-3 on the weekend. We'll see what happens. This could also just be Boom Train 6-0 and Heat 2-0 Copperheads. Who knows? Let's take a look at my current rankings. This was my rankings after the Winter Classic. This could change, might change, we'll see after Space City. I still have Boom Train as my #1 team. I know that Reign won the Winter Classic, and I still think Reign actually will be the best team come Nationals. Maybe I should bump them up already. If Boom Train lose, I probably will bump up Reign, just because they haven't lost. But I've still got Boom Train on top because there was a couple players missing from Trainwreck at Winter Classic. Trainwreck was most of the Boom Train core, with a couple key players missing. I do think if they had those players, Boom Train would have won, and it certainly would be close either way, probably within a goal or 2. So anyone that has Reign #1, I can't disagree with that. I'm just keeping Boom Train #1 for the moment. But they're on the hot seat this weekend. Reign could be taking the #1 spot. Heat are #4 right now. We'll see what happens this weekend. If they go 5-0, beat Boom Train and beat Copperheads, maybe they could rise a little bit. And then I've got Copperheads at 11, just off of my top 10. If they pull a couple upsets, though, I'm more than willing to put them back in the top 10. Some interesting stuff. We will see what happens this weekend. A couple upcoming tournaments to talk about. Heroes versus Villains Invitational. This is coming, or it should be coming on January 24th. So not this weekend, but the next weekend. Now, I haven't seen anything else on Quadball 1 or anything on the Reddit about this. But it sounds like invitations went out. I don't have a lot of sources or information on the West Coast, so if somebody knows anything else about HVI, please let me know. But Heroes versus Villains should be back, hopefully. It'd be good to see Lost Boys, Bay Area, if they're there. It'd be fun to see that tournament again. Speaking of Bay Area, Breakers want to host a tournament on February 21st. So if anyone's interested in that, here's the connection on the Reddit. Just wanted to give a shout out to them, just because it's always great to have more tournaments. So if you're a team that wants to go to Northern California, here's the connection. One other upcoming tournament that we know about, Vermont is going to be hosting in Boston or New England area in late March. I think there is a bit more traction for this tournament than there is the Bay Area one. Certainly there'll be more teams up in the Northeast. Dice, Slice, River Runners, Lobsters, Vermont, obviously, Red Pandas. Probably a lot more teams that can go to this kind of tournament. So that would be fun to see if that ends up happening. A couple other things. This will be a shorter video today, but I wanted to look at the bids and what teams will be attending each national qualifier, because that came out. So we have a little bit more of concrete details on when this is happening. Garland, this is the Dallas area, for anyone unaware, the DFW area. This will be the first national qualifier, January 31st and February 1st, 2-day tournament. In the college division, Sam Houston, Texas, Texas State, UCLA will be attending, and UTSA, 5 teams. For the club, it'll be Brew, Dice, Rain, Texas Copperheads, and Heat. And I'll pull up the bids as we go along as well. These are the bids that are going to each division. This may have changed, yes, because now there's 5 teams attending Garland. So this may change in terms of the numbers. I'm gonna assume it's still 2 bids for each division, and I'll have more in-depth predictions once we get closer to each national qualifier. But right now I'm thinking probably Texas State and I'm gonna go with Sam Houston are my top 2 teams right now for the college division. And then I would say probably Dice and Rain are the top 2. Heat are definitely right there. Out of Rain, Dice, and Heat, it's probably gonna be 2 of those. I would like it to be Copperheads because my hometown team. But we'll see. Probably Rain and Dice are my prediction right now. Those are definitely the best 2 teams here. Then we'll have York County. So this will be in late February. Attending teams, this is all club teams. So 10 club teams will be there. Atlantic Dragons, Carolina Reapers, Chaos, DCQC, New York Slice, Flamingos, River Runners, Wash-Ups, Monuments, and Boom Train. So this will be a good one. A good mix of teams that'll be going. Looks like this one's gonna be 4 competitive bids. So if we have 4 bids to give out, I would say Chaos stands out, Boom Train stands out, DCQC stands out, and the last one probably goes to Carolina Reapers. Maybe New York Slice is a dark horse. We haven't really seen any of these other ones play aside from Dragons and Flamingos. So I'm gonna say Boom Train, Chaos, DCQC for sure. Probably Reapers grabs the other bid. Then we have Howard County, Maryland. This will be February 28th and March 1st. 12 teams competing, all college division teams. And this one is gonna have, it was 13, so somebody dropped it, looks like. 6 D1 bids will be available. I don't expect that to change. Boston, Brandeis, Brown, Crucio, Emerson, Harvard, James Madison. Oh no, sorry, there's 14 teams here, so someone got added. Middlebury, Pittsburgh, RPI, Rutgers, Triangle, Vermont, and Virginia. And if there's only 6 bids, let's see, Virginia is definitely gonna get one. Harvard probably gets one. Crucio probably gets one. Boston gets one. That's 4. Rutgers definitely gets one. That's 5. Who gets the last one? I'm thinking Brandeis is a contender. Pittsburgh could be a contender. James Madison is an outside contender. Out of those, give me Brandeis out of those. But any one of those 3 teams, I think those 3 are going to be your bubble teams fighting for that last spot. Then we have, I'm not going to try, but I know it's Washington, the state of Washington. This will be March 7th and March 8th. Looks like there's going to be a fantasy tournament as well. So some fun fantasy stuff going on Sunday. but the actual national qualifier will take place on the Saturday, March 7th. Bay Area Breakers, Seattle Sirens, Silicon Valley Vipers, Lost Boys Second Stars, and Texas Copperheads. Reminder, you can attend 2 national qualifiers if you're a club team. So if you've seen some names like Copperheads on here twice, that's why. The bids for this one, looks like it's going to be 2 competitive bids. I would expect this to be Lost Boys and Copperheads. So Copperheads may not get it in Garland. I think they will get it in Washington. Give me Lost Boys and Copperheads to get this one. Oh, Breakers is there too. Oh, that's tougher, you know. That's tougher. Give me Breakers and Copperheads then. I think Lost Boys may not get it. Give me Bay Area and Texas Copperheads to get that. That's going to be tough, though. That's going to be a tough one. And then we have Champaign County, Illinois, a bunch of college teams, a bunch of club teams. Let's see what each one of them get. For college, it's going to be 4 bids, and for club, it's also going to be 4. So from college, you have Bowling Green, Blue Jay, Creighton, Illini, Michigan, Michigan State, Minnesota, Mizzou, and Purdue. And if only 4 teams make it, well, probably Illini, probably Creighton. And then it gets tough. Out of Michigan, Michigan State, and Mizzou, you could convince me any of them get that spot, and Blue Jay. Give me Michigan State to get one of them. And then let's say I'll say Blue Jay for the other. Missouri's look shakier this year than in years past. So I'm going to say Blue Jay and Michigan State. But Mizzou is right there on the border. So is Michigan. I thought Michigan looked impressive actually in their couple games. So I don't think that's a team you can count out. And then for club, you've got Boom Train, Lobsters, Brew Cities, Chaos, Chicago United, Dice, Apollos, Orlando, Rain, Trainwreck, and Vermont. This does say New York Dice, so I'm not sure if this is meant to say New Jersey Dice or New York Slice. We'll see. But 4 bids available here. Boom Train, Lobsters, Chaos, Dice, Rain, Trainwreck, Vermont. That might be 7 top 10 teams right there. They're all contenders, those teams. Who did I have getting? Because a couple of these teams were over here. So I had Chaos got one here and Boom Train got one here. So they aren't eligible for these bids. So Chaos and Boom have already gotten them. So I'm going to say Lobsters. I said Dice got one at... Dice was on another one, weren't they? Dice will be in Garland. So Dice and Rain here. And then here, let's say, so Dice, Boom, and Chaos already have one. So I'm going to say Boston. Let's see, Boston, Rain. No, but Rain also already have one. Okay. Boston, Trainwreck, Vermont, and who gets the other one? Boston, Trainwreck, Vermont. I'll tell you the 4 best teams here will probably be Rain, Boom Train, Dice, and maybe Chaos, maybe Trainwreck. Oh, Lobsters, probably Lobsters. But teams still needing bids. Lobsters still needs one. Trainwreck still needs one. Vermont. And then who knows from these last teams. Orlando, we haven't seen them at all this year, so who knows? Apollos haven't looked too bad. They could get it. Brew Cities, I mean, who knows out of those? It's all going to depend on what happens at the other qualifiers. So yeah, there's going to be some interesting stuff that comes out of Champaign County, assuming these other ones go the way that I think they will. Of course, if Heat gets the bid in Garland, then either Dice or Rain will probably get that last bid in Illinois. It's all just going to depend on how does it shake out, which, by the way, I am now noticing that Texas Hill Country Heat, they're only going to the Garland qualifier. So if Heat don't make it in Garland, they may not get into the top division, because I believe I saw that there's not going to be any at-large bids. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but there was something I saw that teams receiving D1 bids are not going to be able to decline them anymore. If you get a D1 bid, then you have to go to D1. And since all of them are being allocated in, are there any at-large bids? Does it say on here? I'm not sure that there are. So if all of the bids are being allocated already in the national qualifiers, Heat have to perform in Garland. That's definitely gonna be a storyline that we'll talk about when I record my video 2 weeks from now. But we will see. I'm sure more details will come out about this. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. This is Jackson signing off.